I want to start off by saying I appreciate y'all for being here. What this is just an opportunity for us to fellowship as men. A lot of us carry a lot of different things on our plate and really don't have an outlet to really speak to other people about it. You don't think you can, or you just really, I don't know if you, some people are not vulnerable enough to really speak, but I encourage everyone here, as more people join, to just be honest and open and transparent in a way in which we all can learn from each other and grow. Because I believe everyone has a lesson that they can teach us, and if we are willing to share, we get to learn on what to do and also what not to do going forward. Because if we become better men, we can become better leaders, and us being better leaders, we can be able to change the world around us in which we know it to be. So what I think to start this meeting off would be is to talk more about accountability, because without accountability we don't really get an opportunity to really hold ourselves to a standard in which we should. Because if you don't take ownership in the things in which you've done or did not do, then you really are being dishonest with yourself. And if you can't be truthful with yourself, then it's kind of hard for you to be truthful with anybody else in this world. So that's where I'm starting. It's like, for me, like, this whole group here is me taking accountability for my actions, because I was supposed to have started this group a long time ago, and out of fear for me not believing that it will work, I didn't do it. And I got to the point where I'm like, the thought didn't go away, so all right, let's start it. And here we are today. And the challenge that I had creating this was really just in my opinion, I really felt like I wasn't fearful of much. I don't know why I feel like it wouldn't work, but it just was a limited belief I had placed on myself. I felt like it was out of my league. I felt like I didn't do enough or I have not done enough to be able to put this space together in order for us to come together to grow and learn from each other. But I clearly see that that's not the case. So here we are. I want to challenge you all to, whether you type it in the chat, I'm reading the chat, or if you want to get on, unmute your mic and talk. But I want to talk about what some goals that you guys have for the fourth quarter of 2024, and what check marks have y'all put in place to make sure you reach those goals for the next 3 months. Does anyone want to start? What I realized though, like, as men, in order for us to grow, we tend to, with our emotions being bottled up, we tend to let anything could trigger us to a point where we explode. It could be something big or something small, but when we get to a point where we get to the explosion level is where we have issues with, we just have issues in general. And like, for me, I used to get mad at my wife, like, just because I felt as though she wasn't understanding where I was coming from. And my justification of that wasn't wrong. It's because I never expressed to her where I was coming from. I just always felt that she should know. And in me feeling like she should know, I realized that, like the saying it goes, closed mouths don't get fed. But like, if you don't ask, and you won't receive either. So like, for me, I just felt like she should read my mind. She should have been reading my mind to figure out what I was going through or see, because I'm seeing. And the fact that she wasn't, I felt her eyes weren't open to what I was looking at, was an issue for me. So what I had to do was understand, that it's not on her. If it's not addressed, then it can't be respected, because there's no way for her to understand what exactly what I had going on. So I I had learned to control my emotions. I realized that no one could make you do anything that you don't want to do. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, you are in control of yourself. You are the CEO of your life and yourself. So if you get mad and want to swing on somebody, you get mad and want to be verbally abusive, if you get mad and just shut down, slam doors, get loud, yell, cuss them out, like whatever it is that you do when you get mad, it's totally you. It's not nobody else outside of you. You gotta learn to not let people, first off, work to not have buttons to press, and then B, work to not let people press those buttons or you get affected by if they pressing those buttons. Whatever button you feel as though can be pressed and that gives you an opportunity to get mad or angry, it's a level, it's a space and where you need to work on as a man, because that means that is a weakness that you possess. And once I got to that point, I realized that like there is no way I should let this person, whomever it is, say something to get me upset. Like I got to the point where I say, you absolutely right, because the old saying is if you arguing with a fool, if somebody looking on, they can't tell who the fool is or something like that. And I realized that that's true, because if they don't know the situation, to me they both look crazy. So I got to the point where I no longer wanted to look crazy in front of everybody else by doing stuff that I thought was necessary at that time. So I got to the point where I'm like, you absolutely right. You right, no problem. And I just move on by my day. I don't let stuff get to me. Like I give things maybe, depending on the severity of it, 5-10 minutes. Sometimes it may be an hour. But I'm never, ever, ever, ever giving anything my entire day. Absolutely, that's like a golden rule of mine. I don't care what it is, it does not get my entire day. And I had to really scale that back some, because when my wife, like, she be going through stuff, and she asked me, like, I asked her, how long you gonna give it? You know, and I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I'm just making her aware to put a time frame on it, because she tell me it's gonna take her 2 weeks or a month, you know, it may take her 3 months, or she could say I don't know. If she give me a I don't know answer, then I'm gonna work even harder to try to figure out exactly what her bottom line emotion is and why she's feeling that way, so I can help pass her through whatever it is that she's going through. But I never ever do I give anything that does not serve me well the entire day. I just don't, like, it's just too many hours in a day for me to keep holding on to whatever that is. Like, I often forgive people quick because I don't want that hindering on me. I don't mean that we gonna ever be in the same space in which we once was, but I forgive you. If you ever done anything wrong to me, I forgive you, because some hurt people, you know. So like I don't really look at it as some form of like disrespect often. Some people say I should, but it's like, I mean, forgive them for they know not what they do. Like, and I just move on accordingly. I hope that helped. If I really pray that I said that correctly in the way that y'all guys understood. Was just doing hard things, man. Like, I think that most of us are capable, all of us are capable of doing hard things if we do not express to ourselves how hard it is. Because I go by the mindset, oh, that's easy. That's easy. And I really go by that mind frame because I've seen other people do it. Even if I have made them never done it, the fact that somebody else has done it means I can too. So if they did it, I can too. So I tell myself it's easy. I don't care how hard it is. It's easy. It's easy because I gotta convince myself. Like, because like it's just like going to the gym and lifting weights. Your muscle can still lift the weight. It be your mind, they be like, oh, this junk got too heavy, now my arm's weak. But your arm's still the same strength. It's just you overworking your muscle at that point. So you tell your mind like one more, it'll do that one more lift, that one more rep. It's just the fact of the matter is you gotta convince yourself to do it. So I take that mind frame from the gym to life. Like, just convince yourself that you can do it. Because you can. Like, stop putting limitations on whatever it is that you think you cannot do, because you can. You absolutely can. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. That's it. You write it down, write the vision, make it plain, put your mind to it. You set out, you make a decision. And what I learned is making a decision is not a choice. making decisions, cutting yourself off from any other option but that option you gave yourself. So when I decide on something, that's it. I'm cutting myself off from any other thing but that. It's gotta happen. It's going to happen. And another thing I did too to grow is I took trying out of my vocabulary. You either doing or you not. There's no in between. I'm either doing it or I'm not. So even if I'm doing it at a small scale, it's not like I'm trying. I actually am doing it just at a smaller scale until I can grow to a larger scale. But I am doing it. Like this meeting right here is about 5 or 6 of us in here. I'm doing it. Like this is a men's fellowship. So as it continues to grow, because some people may have something to do today, some people may have forgotten that it was at this time. No matter whatever the issue is, this is going to continue to grow. It's going to create men that our generation has never seen before. Like a lot of us either grew up with a father that, either way, if you grew up with a father, you did not grow up with a father, there's been times where like our father comes from a different generation. So like they don't really understand what it's like being men in this day and age. So that's why I thought it was very imperative for us to come together, including like older men as well. Some will be here next week because I want to give a different generational perspective on what they can help us with, because they've already been through some things, and how we can help them see different as well. Because if they can see difference in where we come from, they may be able to help us a little bit more, because they'll be a little bit more understanding exactly to all of the things in which we go through on a day-to-day basis. So like I said, I just want to encourage y'all to be vulnerable in this space. I say that is, even all of the accomplishments that I have done, I've realized for a long time that I wasn't happy, right? And like what really opened my eyes to that was like my wife and I go try new stuff, right? And she like, what you rated? And I'd be like a 7 or an 8. She'd be like, why it's not a 10? And I don't know, it ain't a 10. So she's like, all right, so have you ever had a 10? I'm like, I don't know. She says, but why don't you ever, how come you never had a 10 in your eyes? I'm like, well, I don't know, stuff could be different. But what that really opened my eyes to was that I'm chasing this imaginary thing that don't even exist. Why this couldn't be a 10 at this moment, and then I get something, try something better, and I'm like, oh, so this is now my new level of 10. Why am I comparing something and putting it at a 7 when it may possibly be a 10, but I'm creating this illusion of something because I think it's something better out there than what I'm actually getting right at this very moment. So what that helped me understood was that I'm not living in a moment. I'm in a future of what I think is going to come in the future, instead of actually being present in that very moment. Like, wow, I really am enjoying this ice cream. Like, this is some ice cream I never had before. And it really changed my perspective on how I'm living life, because I was always chasing the next thing, or looking to be the better tomorrow, and not understanding that, looking back from where I come from, like this is how much I've grown so far, and then B, like understanding that I'm where I'm supposed to be at all times, and that so when I took on that mindset of me understanding that I am where I'm supposed to be at all times, I now look to be in the present, because I got to the point where I'm like, okay, if God is omnipresent and He knows made the end from the beginning from the end,
gotta give me 1 sec.
I got to a point where I'm like, let me get to a point where I'm actually enjoying the moment, because if I don't, I'ma miss it. And then I'm gonna go through life living with regret, like, dang, like I ain't did nothing, because I'm at the point where I'm like, everything is a blur, because I've never really truly lived in a moment. So now, like, I take every day and enjoy every single day. Yes, I have long-term goals. Yes, I have short-term goals. But I also understand that my life ain't what I dream it to be, but it ain't where I started from either. So like, I'm in this progressive state. So that, like, yeah, I may have done some horrible things in my past, but those now lessons for me to learn, like, hey, you no longer this person. You doing that got you this result, and if you don't want this result anymore, then stop doing that and start doing this. And it was hard at first, because I felt like I ain't had nobody to really model after. Like, I had issue, like my father, he he's now starting to see me. I'm 31. My dad really just started seeing me for me at like 28, 27. Like and to be honest, like my father didn't even come to my wedding. Like this man, like I'm named after him. Like this, like I told him to his face, like I just tell people all the time, like my dad has always been there. And at that moment, I told him, like, I gotta say to you, to your face, that I can no longer say that my dad always been there because you did not show up to my wedding. And and it hurt me to say that, but it was the truth. But I had to let that go, because if I held that resentment on to him for that forever, it's like, then am I not gonna just cherish the relationship that I got with him at this present moment, or am I just gonna hold that grudge forever and not have no relationship with him? Because eventually one day he's gonna be gone, and then I'm gonna be like, dang, all the time that I didn't get to spend with him because of that one little incident that's gonna be small and minuscule. Because we still got married, we still happy, like all of that now has passed. But so would I have wanted him to? Yes, of course. But will he maybe be at our bar renewal whenever we have one? I pray he is, and that he can see. But outside of that, I don't know. Bro, that's what God do. Like, he get to a point where he know who your mom is, and he like, okay, I know what she lack, so here you go. I'm gonna give you these women over here. I'm gonna give you this woman over here that's gonna give you what you lacking over there, because she don't have it. And so for me, I always felt like I never had a real connection with my mama, because not because I don't love her, but she never met my thought of what I thought a mom should be. And cause I looked at all my friends and their relationships, like they like, man, my mama the greatest in the world, like I'll kill a nigga by my mama, like all this stuff. I never felt that way. And I always thought it was me, you know, and I'm like, okay, well, when people was around me talking great about their mama, I didn't talk bad about my mama, but I just ain't say anything, because it's like, I never had that relationship with my moms. But what I realized is that I had to look past my mom and look at my grandma. Like, my grandma didn't give my mama the stuff that I felt my mama should have. So in that instance, how can I be mad at my mama? And she never possessed what I thought she should have, because she was never taught it. And then she never learned it. So at that point, I gotta take my mom for who she is and love her for who she is. Because if I don't, then she's gonna never meet an unrealistic expectation that I have of her, and we'd never have a good relationship. We'd never have one, because I'm always putting her on this pedestal or this standard where I think she should be, and she'll never be there. So that changed the way that I look at a lot of people in life. I take the title away from people and just analyze them for whom they are based upon their situation, because life has all dealt us cards that we have to learn how to manage and play. But if we never rearranged our hand and we just kept what we was dealt with and never tried to make a hand out of something, then it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that goes to show for us, like, growth as well. Like, that means that this person never really aspired to grow in areas that they felt as though they lacked. They just okay with being okay. And then you gotta get to a point of understanding, like, are you okay with them being okay? If not, it's okay for you to back up away from them, because it don't serve you. But like, I'm at the point now where, like, I'm glad I moved, because like I still had a relationship with my family, but at a long distance relationship, because it was suitable for me. Because if not, I couldn't be around them daily, and I'm growing and they not, and now it's like, well, Joe think he better than everybody. It's not that, it's just the fact that I'm working to be the best version of myself, and y'all just okay with just being mediocre. And that's fine if that's where y'all want to be. Exactly, because I've been exposed to a whole lot of exposure equals expansion. Once I saw it, once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So it gets to the point where that's why I choose to show so much, because I want people around me to see, because I've never felt like I'm on a pedestal. I'm like, okay, let me help. All I know how to do is help. And I got to a point now where I'm like, I felt as though I was nagging to the people that I was trying to help, because they never asked for the help and never wanted to help. So that was another part of me creating this group, because I wanted to be around the people that actually want to help, that actually want to grow, so that they can grow, and I can let everybody else continue to be who they are. Yeah, but for you, man, to be happy, just live in a moment, man. Like, understand that seasons. All this stuff is seasons. Good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. It's all seasons, and it don't last always. Like, it don't. Like, just like the leaves change, just like the summer comes and the winter goes. Like, everything has a season. Every single thing in life has a season. That's my point of creating this, so that people from all walks of life can share something, so that it may help the next person. And as far as like the happiness, man, like for me, you gotta choose it. You gotta choose joy every single day. And like probably 2021, I think was like the first time for real that I really woke up and chose joy. And it felt good for me. Like I didn't let absolutely nothing affect me. Like I didn't answer the phone, because for the longest, like this may sound stupid to people, but I used to answer my phone every time somebody called me. And I never thought I thought that's what I was supposed to do because people calling me. But that's how I was raised. Like, oh, you missed a phone call, or your phone ringing, and I got to a point where, all right, it's ringing, like, let that shit go to voicemail. And that felt so good for me because I just always answer my phone. And so from doing that to waking up, like understanding it's a privilege that you woke up. So like that was a blessing for me in the very beginning. Like I'm just grateful that I woke up this morning. I got all my limbs, I can breathe, like all my eyesight, like all of that. Yeah, it may sound stupid, but that's the truth, because some people ain't wake up, and then you never know, people wake up all the time and they right arm not working. So the fact that I'm able to get up out the bed, I wake up every day with joy. Like I get to brush my teeth, I get to do these things. One of my old best friends, we don't talk now because we just grew apart. But like he paralyzed. We hung out every single day, and he got hit off his motorcycle. So the fact that I know somebody that we used to do everything together, and now he don't have no feeling below his chest, gave me a sense of joy. Like I'm grateful that I can do that. And then on top of everything else, I go and I speak to people. I got this discerning spirits where I can see somebody going through something. I just give them a quick word of encouragement. I even pray for them throughout the day when I meet people. And the fact that put a smile on their face brings me joy, because I really truly believe I'm where I'm supposed to be every single moment, every single day. So in there, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do? How can I help in any type of capacity with the people that I'm around? Sometimes it be just me just holding the door for people because they just need the door held for them, and I see the joy of bringing them on that. Sometimes it be an encouraging word. Sometimes it just be like, a smile, or anything. So I choose joy every single day. I choose joy every single day. Babe, I got 5 minutes. So I choose joy every single day, because if I don't, then the enemy wins. It's a race. It's a battle between the good and the bad. So I'm gonna always lean on the good side, because that's what brings me the, not only the blessings, but it really just brings me a peace of mind that I hold on to all of the good things, like the things of which I'm no longer where I was, because, and I don't really like to harbor on the past, honestly, because I'm too far looking in the future. I'm looking in the future because the past no longer serves me. The people sometimes I miss, but I'm like, okay, I understand they part of the seasons as well. And for me, we got 5 minutes left. What I categorize people that's no longer in my life, that I sometimes wish they were, as the I Remember When group. And the I Remember When group is the people that, how I see people that from my old neighborhoods and stuff that made it out the hood, and they come back, like the niggas that used to be around that didn't really amount to nothing, or they plateaued. They be like, damn, I remember when such and such used to do this. I remember when he used to, because that's the only part of his life then is the only part that they remember. So they always got a I remember when, because they now know what he got going on now. So that is how I categorize people in my life, so that it helps me not harbor too much on them, because I still got places to go and people to meet and things to do. So that's how I choose joy. I found out I enjoy bowling. I really do. I enjoy getting better at bowling. I got a 150 now. I aspire to bowl a 300. So it's like I'm like, let me get better at that. Let me put myself around people who could teach me as I could learn. Like that's something I enjoy. It may be boring to a lot of people, but it's something that I enjoy. Because honestly, it brings sickness. Like even if you don't speak about it because you feel like somebody gonna judge you, when you keep all that inside of you, that is an energy and it brings on sickness. I done watch people get cancer because they dealing with stuff that they don't want to talk about. So what happens is your blood, everything, your cells, is energy that's now transferred into your body. If you don't let it out, I don't watch people hair fall out, all type of stuff because they dealing with now the stress kills. Like you get heart attacks and you cancer, like for sure cancer. Like I don't watch 3 different people bring on cancer in their life because they dealing with stuff that they don't want to talk about. And they only talked about it once it got to a point where they had to bring it to the forefront because it had already hit the fan. But they caught the cancer before the situation even got to that point. But it could have possibly been mitigated if they would have brought it to the forefront. So I don't know. It's just weird. I love y'all before this video cut out. I love y'all. We gonna be back Thursday. We're gonna be back Thursday, same time. This gonna be every week thing.